All right, guys. 4 days, and Shannon and I thought it would take us 10 days to 2 weeks, but pretty much have everything cleared off. So we put our deck stuff on to seal that wood up there. That beam is actually connected to the loft floor, and it's got those joist hangers hanging, and that would be a bear to get off. So that's all one piece. That beam, and then our flooring. So what we're going to do is when we rent the skid steer to fill all this in around here and grade our property, we're going to try to lift that up as much as possible with the skid steer, and then maybe get a couple of us to help with that side of the beam, which would be lighter there, and drag that out into the field, set it up on some blocks, cover it real good, wrap it for the winter, and that'll stay out there. And then those walls that are leaning, and then there's a couple of walls down here. One is a total 10-foot section that's actually under the loft floor, and then another 10-foot section that's kind of sticking out. Those we're going to drag up and lay down onto the floor up here too before we tarp the whole thing, along with some other walls that held together pretty good, like this one. I think that was it looking around. But we've already loaded some lumber into the barn, but this is a lot of it here. There's some more over on the other side. Today is Monday, about 5 o'clock, so we're done for the day. Another hot one, believe it or not. Fall has not yet come here to the Star Valley, so but that's what you see there. And then that wall leaning up there, that'll go up onto the floor. So don't see any yellow aspen either, by the way. There is some yellowing. You probably can't see it with the sun, but right under the beam, if you look straight back, those are starting to yellow. So the lower level aspen trees are yellowing now that I see, but nothing really major. Usually by now, mid-September, we're almost there in full bloom. So I just wanted to let you know on a couple of things there, just show you what we got done today. By the way, when I talked earlier about trenching and getting some other projects done, this is our faucet for our well. Our well is over, can I bring it in? Where that other faucet is, that is actually our well sticking up right there. And camera wants to focus in on my finger, but that's our well. So we got a trench from there over to the house, right about where that wall is standing. I actually put in pipe before we laid the concrete, so the tubes are down there, and we'll trench right to there and put that 1-inch poly in that'll bring water eventually to our house. So we'll have that all trenched in, we figure. Then the other thing is the electrical, and that would be right here. See the plastic cover right on that pipe sticking up? When we had to trench from our service panel right there all the way up to our transformer that they put in, which is right through all these weeds that Shannon loves to have around. But there's we threw this pipe in also. So that's sticking up ready to go to the house. So we'll trench from there over to the house too. And just probably that corner, the first corner right there, I'll put a panel in the crawl space there. And then third thing to trench is our septic line, which is sticking out. That we teed wide off, like put a Y in there, so we have it running to the bus right here, and then we'll have to start a trench and begin right there and trench it to the house. And just inside, if you walked in our crawl space door to the right, uh, I put that in before the concrete went in, and that's already in there, so we just got to trench to it and meet those two. So but those are all three big projects that we were going to do next year. So if we get those done this year, plus all the grading around the house, next year when we come back and hopefully get this up a lot quicker than what we did, uh, it'll really in the end help us a lot, because then we'll have hopefully the rest of the summer to work on the house, siding or plumbing. You got to rough in electrical, all that stuff, windows, doors, even the front porch, wraparound porch even. So those are all projects that are going to be in the future and can be put in at any time, so it's nothing that has to be done next year, but we would like to start making it livable space inside so that if we want to stay later in the season, we can. Hey guys, our friends were able to loan us this trailer, and we kept the wood out of the rain. That's the last of everything up at the house. Some boards right here. It's a nice cloudy, cool day, so we're having a little bonfire with some scraps and get rid of some cardboard and stuff. But the house has been tarped, and we'll take that beam and the loft floor, which is off to the side but attached to the beam. We'll get that off this week and start our ground excavating. We're decided to go ahead and do our septic, like I told you. We got that. I got some other stuff for the electrical and the plumbing, and we're hoping to get that going on Monday. So trailer's all covered, and I'll show you the barn real quick here. Everything's kind of organized now. Sheeting's still where it is. Move some other stuff around, but we're binding it up so it stays nice and straight and level. And you can see those straps to the back there, especially on that back pile there, those straps. They'll keep it nice and tight, so as we build a pile of wood up, we'll strap it, and then probably have a pallet right here, one behind here, one in front, and that should do it. Right now we're building a couple of shelves, organizing this part of the barn of all our goods. A lot of that stuff goes back in the RV. The RV's empty underneath, so when we head out, we'll take some stuff with us and go through all that. It takes about an afternoon. Morning, guys. Just wanted to show you, our friend came by yesterday and pulled the trailer from the house over to here. So that's the last of it, what you see in that trailer. Just pulled the tarp off because we just had days of rain, so it's nice and dry under there. So we'll stack that in the barn. We got pallets all set up. My plan is to put them by like studs, top plates, window jacks, headers, that sort of thing. Try to keep it categorized, so next year when we come here, we're just kind of putting things together like a puzzle. We all know where everything is. We'll have it labeled and stuff. So that's our plan. Just want to show you some fog burning off. I don't know if you can see. Let's see. You can't see it really good, but there's a couple mountain there. See that mountaintop just peeking through the fog. It's kind of cool. But today looks like a much better day, and we got a string of good days, so good for excavating tomorrow. Today is finishing up organizing the barn. It's almost like a house kit. We, as you can see, we banded everything. That's what the yellow banding, that brings all the lumber nice and straight in neat piles. and keeps it preserved over the winter from warping or curling or anything like that. So basically what you're looking at there are all our studs, first floor, 2x6s. This is 2x4s. We got pressure treated with some shorter pieces. These are some studs for the upstairs. Even banded together our little studs for around windows and cripples and things like that. Then we got some, that's all fresh lumber that we just didn't use for framing, so we got an extra. Roof rafters are going to be right over here. Those are all on the bottom, and then the top is all the studs from that second floor with those littler walls, like the half walls almost. Also got our roofing over there. Part of it's still outside sitting, but we got our metal roofing. As you can see, our sheeting, we've never touched it. We didn't get that far this year. So, and then some scraps and stuff around. So that gives you an idea. Everything's out of the weather. There's our pipe that's going to go in the ground for the electrical, for our well, and to run electric from our panel in the barn over to the house. So that'll be in the next video. We'll show you all the trenching that we did and all the pipes that we've laid in the ground so far. So today is the 21st of September. Pretty chilly, just waiting for the sun to come up. It comes up, shines on those mountains down in the valley, and then moves up here, gets up here about a half an hour. It'll be all sunny and stuff out here. So that's where we're at. Thanks for watching, and hit the thumbs up and like button. Thanks, and we'll talk to you soon.